Cascadia, a manifesto for liberty, equity, and sovereignty. Introduction: the urgency of our time. In the age of concentrated wealth, rampant automation, and systemic inequality, the world teeters on the edge of an epochal choice: continue down the path of unfettered capitalism that rewards greed and fosters exploitation, or embrace a vision of liberty fused with responsibility, a republic of the people for the people, where prosperity serves society rather than the few. Cascadia emerges not as a reactionary retreat nor a naive experiment, but as a bold declaration of human dignity, innovation, and freedom, a comprehensive political, economic, and social philosophy for the 21st century. The provisions capping wealth and land, regulating automation, displacement, and taxing extractive financial institutions are more than fiscal mechanisms. They are the material expression of our principles. They ensure that liberty is real, that prosperity is shared, and that technological progress does not leave humanity behind. The political philosophy of Cascadia. At its core, the Cascadian political philosophy rests upon several interlocking pillars. 1. Liberty with responsibility. Cascadia rejects the notion of liberty as mere absence of restraint. True freedom requires a framework in which individuals can act without infringing on the rights and opportunities of others. Excessive accumulation of wealth or land, if unchecked, is a form of coercion. It limits access to resources, opportunity, and dignity for others. Cascadia asserts that freedom is inseparable from justice. 2. Sustainable prosperity. Wealth, property, and technological advancement are tools to enrich life, not instruments to dominate it. Cascadia recognizes the finite nature of resources and the ecological limits of our world. The political philosophy emphasizes that property and income must serve life, not control it. 3. Participatory governance. Cascadia is inherently decentralized and democratic. Its DAO-based structures empower communities to govern themselves while contributing to a larger, interconnected bioregional and federal framework. This is sovereignty through participation, not through accumulation or hierarchy. 4. Equity through constructive redistribution. Redistribution is not a punitive measure but a corrective and enabling tool. The wealth and land caps, automation charges, and financial institution community fees serve to ensure that citizens have access to UBI, social security, education, and health. They're not charity but guaranteed rights. Roman 2. The necessity of these provisions today. Our world is marked by extremes that make these measures urgent and indispensable. Wealth concentration. The top 1% of global wealth holders control over 45% of all private wealth, while billions struggle to meet basic needs. In the United States alone, the richest 400 individuals hold more wealth than the bottom 60% combined. Land hoarding. Vast swaths of land are held by corporate and elite private entities, leaving many communities unable to secure housing or practice subsistence agriculture. Automation, displacement, robotics, AI, and other forms of automation threaten millions of jobs, disproportionately affecting lower-income workers and exacerbating inequality. Studies suggest up to 30–40% of current jobs may be automated within the next 2 decades. Financial exploitation. Banks and financial institutions have increasingly profited from speculative and extractive practices, often at the expense of everyday citizens. The 2008 financial crisis demonstrated the systemic danger of unregulated finance, requiring government intervention to prevent societal collapse. Without targeted provisions, these trends consolidate power and opportunity in the hands of a few, undermining the social fabric and threatening both liberty and stability. Cascadia's provisions directly counteract these systemic threats, creating mechanisms that ensure prosperity benefits the many rather than the few. Roman 3. Cascadia vs. Marxism and unfettered capitalism. Contrasting with Marxism. Marxism advocates state control of production and redistribution, often via coercion, which Cascadia rejects. Cascadia does not aim to abolish private property, individual wealth, or enterprise. Instead, it places ethical limits on accumulation and ensures excesses benefit society. Redistribution in Cascadia is targeted, transparent, and voluntary in governance, not imposed through authoritarian mechanisms. Cascadia preserves incentives for innovation and labor while mitigating exploitation, a balance Marxism has historically struggled to achieve. B. Contrasting with unfettered capitalism. Pure capitalism rewards profit regardless of social or ecological cost, often producing inequality, environmental degradation, and systemic injustice. Cascadia embraces markets and innovation, but couples them with accountability. Wealth caps, automation charges, and financial institution fees ensure that profit does not translate into social harm. The Cascadian system is not punitive towards success, it merely ensures that prosperity does not monopolize opportunity or deprive others of life-sustaining resources. C. Beyond classical liberalism and libertarianism. Classical liberalism and libertarianism emphasize individual freedom and minimal government interference, often neglecting structural inequalities and ecological realities. Cascadia advances a new paradigm. Liberty is coupled with responsibility, freedom with equitable access, innovation with stewardship. This philosophy is not a return to laissez-faire, nor is it a socialist experiment. It is a third way, designed for a technologically advanced, ecologically finite, and socially interdependent world. Roman 4. The new political synthesis, naming the philosophy. This distinctive Cascadian philosophy can be communicated through multiple synonymic frames to resonate with different audiences. 1. Radical civic republicanism emphasizes civic virtue, participatory governance, and public-minded wealth regulation. 2. Progressive libertarianism combines robust individual freedom with safeguards against exploitation and harm. 3. Ecological justice federalism integrates ecological stewardship with decentralized governance and equitable resource distribution. 4. Responsible market humanism promotes markets, innovation, and private property constrained by ethical and societal considerations. 5. Sovereign social equilibrium ensures individuals and communities can flourish while maintaining balance across society and resources. Each term highlights facets of the same overarching principle: liberty without tyranny, prosperity without exploitation, and technology without human displacement. V. Mechanisms in action: wealth, land, automation, finance. A. Wealth and land caps. Caps prevent hoarding, secure basic resources for all, and fund UBI and social security. They embed lock-in principles of property. Labor creates entitlement, but ownership must not harm others. Excessive accumulation is treated not as sin, but as societal risk. B. Automation charges. Mitigate technological unemployment. Fund retraining and income stability programs. Ensure that innovation uplifts society rather than leaving people behind. C. Financial institution community charges. Tax excessive profits derived from extractive financial practices. Support public healthcare and education, foundational rights under the Cascadian Bill of Rights. Reinforce the principle that economic success carries social responsibility. VI. Moral imperatives and the manifest destiny of Cascadia. Cascadia asserts that a society built on unregulated accumulation or unrestrained state control is inherently unstable and morally deficient. Its moral imperatives are: 1. Preserve human dignity. Every citizen must have access to resources that allow life, liberty, and pursuit of purpose. 2. Ensure equitable opportunity. Excesses of wealth or land must be redirected to enable participation in society. 3. Protect from technological displacement. Automation should serve humanity, not replace it. 4. Support public infrastructure. Education and healthcare are not privileges, they are essential to liberty itself. 5. Sustain ecological balance. Prosperity must coexist with planetary stewardship. These imperatives translate into laws, policies, and societal norms that manifest Cascadia's destiny as a land of liberty, innovation, and justice. Roman 7. Call to civic engagement. The Cascadian project is not theoretical, it is active, participatory, and communal. It requires citizens to engage in DAO governance, shaping policies at bioregional, county, state, and federal levels. Communities to implement safety nets, retraining programs, and local infrastructure initiatives. Entrepreneurs and innovators to embrace responsibility alongside creativity, ensuring technology and wealth serve society. Financial institutions and landowners to participate in equitable frameworks, contributing to the collective well-being. Cascadia invites all citizens of all backgrounds to join, contribute, and defend this vision of liberty rooted in justice, not mere accumulation. Roman 8. Cascadia, a movement, a philosophy, a manifesto. Cascadia's philosophy is not Marxist. It preserves individual property and markets while correcting excesses. Not a restrained capitalist. It prevents exploitation, hoarding, and inequality. Not classical liberal or libertarian. It combines liberty with societal responsibility, technology with human dignity. A new paradigm: radical civic republicanism, progressive libertarianism, ecological justice federalism, responsible market humanism, sovereign social equilibrium. It is a philosophy of action, of community, of destiny. Cascadia asserts that freedom must be defended, prosperity must be shared, and technology must serve the people. The Pacific Northwest movement is not merely regional, it is a model for the world, demonstrating that liberty can coexist with equity, that innovation can coexist with justice, and that society can be both free and responsible. Roman 9. Conclusion: liberty without restraint, responsibility without tyranny. The provisions capping wealth and land, taxing automation, and assessing financial institutions are more than policy, they are the lifeblood of a new civilization. Cascadia envisions a world where citizens are sovereign and protected. Technology and markets enhance life rather than diminish it. Resources are shared in ways that respect labor, human dignity, and ecological limits. Participation in governance is direct, transparent, and empowering. This is the Cascadian promise: freedom rooted in justice, prosperity rooted in equity, and society rooted in responsibility. It is a call to arms, not necessarily with weapons, but certainly with civic courage, moral clarity, and intellectual engagement. Join this movement. Claim your sovereignty. Build your communities. Protect liberty. Foster justice. Advance Cascadia.